Alright, welcome back to the Supercoach Nuff channel. In this video we're going to review round 20 of the 2025 NRL Supercoach season. So a pretty good week, all things considered, a 1285, which was in the top 6% for the week, so just outside the top 10k for the round. But I guess more importantly, moving up 3,000 spots. So fast approaching the top 25k, so there might be a chance of cracking top 20k would be ideal, given our position and how much the front half of the season was a struggle. But we'll have a look at the teams and the team and how it went. So Connor Watson scored a 47 for us this week, which is fine. Kurt Donahue we had on the bench. He scored a 70, so obviously didn't make the right call there. Terrell May, though, as captain, was really good, 105. And I think that was, one of the top scores this week, so you can't be too critical of that decision. Nafahu White was good with 61 points. The second row was a bit of a disaster though. So Eli Katoa and Preston, 42 and 40 respectively. We'd like to get a bit more out of them. And then Kalal Matangi looked good with a 48 before going down injured. And Tino also going down injured, albeit a bit earlier. So he only scored a 15. In the halves, Jerome Hughes with the 76 was a solid score. LKT with 41, was okay enough given his price point. Kaya Weeks with 46, so obviously made a bit of cash, but wasn't backing up those two big scores. Still has a decent break even, so we can make a decision next week whether we take the money and run or if we keep the faith. Jaden Campbell with the 56 we played, and then Herbie with the 77, so we didn't use the VC option, which worked out to be the right call. Zach Lomax with 95 was great. Kiraz with 74 was really good. Fermor with 65 was good, and then Adam Dewey with the 51. So I didn't see how many minutes he played, so I might be able to get that up here in that new role. So 59 minutes, so decent. Was hoping for a little bit more PPM, but if we have a look at his stats, perhaps, if it's going to let me. There we go. So no real sort of attacking stats. Obviously the goals there. Yeah, so I guess maybe just pure base more or less. A few missed tackles, maybe a couple of errors. Yeah, so I mean, probably that sort of base score we're going to get from him moving forward with that upside is handy. And then the fullback. So Scotty Drinkwater was good with 87. Teddy and the flex was a bit flat with just 37. But Dylan Edwards, we traded in for Dylan Edwards and he was massive, 173. I think he was involved in pretty much all the tries, kicked the goals, did all the running that he usually does. So you love to see it from getting him in this week. In terms of the game day though, we did pretty well. The only one we lost unfortunately was to Phillips' team, Viking Warriors, with a monster 14-37, and that was thanks to the C placed correctly on Dylan Edwards. So that is a massive score there, Phillip. But had a Sarko 75. Zach Hosking turned up, which was not on my bingo card, so well done for keeping the faith with Hosco. Kikau, Munster, Garrick all solid. Had Terrell May as well, so obviously the captaincy call there cost me 73 points. But there was a bit more to it as well with had a couple of 40s in there. And, that extra ton from Zach Hosking just really set and fill up nicely. I'm going to have a guess that's the highest score in the league. I haven't checked all the other scores yet. And, quite comfortably. So, Tough one for me this week, but that's the breaks. In the second league, though, we got a win over Cronulla Sparkies, Jordan's team. So having a look through, he had Gutho ton up 103. So I think Gutho went really well against the Bulldogs in both games this year. Yeah, 113 to start, and then returned with another ton. So maybe something to eye up on matchups and stuff moving forward. Had Terrell May as well, but not as captain. Who was his captain? So had on Cleary, so got Herbie's VC score. So fair enough. Copped Hubner's 52 as an auto emergency. That's pretty handy. But I guess across the league, I can see a 1300, couple of 1300s. Oh, but a 1400 for Sam's team, Blitzkrieg. So number one in the league. Pretty sure number one in our open league too. I will have to confirm that. But another Edwards captainer. So obviously that was the key to a big score this week. But also had Lomax, had a few guys go well there. Terrell May, Nico Hines with the 77. So definitely some solid scores there. Well done, Sam. And then in the third league, so a win over Leonard's team, Samoan Kiwi 2025. So he had Hosking and Terrell May, so a couple of tons, but had the captaincy on Tedesco, which was very unfortunate. Isaiah Katoa with a 91, that's a pretty nice little point of difference there. But I'm just trying to work out, I think it was just the captaincy really, like that's... So 100 and what's that, 37. So that's like a 70-point swing just on that. And then I guess maybe, like a 95 from Lomax. Well, Hosking covered Lomax. So I'm not really... I guess Dylan Edwards, that's the one I was missing there. That 173 was pretty hard to cover. But in the third league, surely we've got a Dylan Edwards captainer somewhere. Perhaps 1355, the Serena Sinners. Steve's team, he absolutely did. Had Drinky and Herbie as well. Had Jamal Fogarty with a 96. So some nice scoring halfbacks this week in sort of pod territory. Terrell May as well, fantastic. Some good stuff there, Steve. And so yeah, just having a bit of a look at the league overall. So yeah, Sam extending the lead out the front. You've got to go to leagues to see the overall. We'll have a look at that in a minute. 1445 for minimum effort, Michael's team. That's a pretty handy get this week. 1449 for Hansfeld, my Haas. So a few names mashed together there. Well done. 1424, so a few 1400s, a 1500 for Mal Me Finger, Brett's team, great name by the way. Let's have a look at the 1500. So yeah, no prizes for guessing who the captain was. Blake Brayley with a 108, he's been massive. What's the 5-round average he's got? 5-rounder of 94, wow, well done to the 10% that are on Brayley, he's killing it in the last few weeks. And yeah, it has literally been the last 5 weeks since he turned up against the Dragons. 97. Melbourne kept him a bit quiet with 48, but then 117 and 108. So massive pod getting us into the end of the season. I'll have another look quickly, but some for 1493 for Latrell's farmhand. I'll just have a look if there's anyone else. Might have a quick look at that as we go down. Yeah, not expecting too much down here. So, just trying to remember where it was. So, Williams' team, let's have a look. So, another Brayley owner, Dylan Edwards captain. Corey Horsburgh with 88 was really good. Jarrell Skelton with a 109. That's a nice pod there. And Terrell May with a 105, obviously. Lomax, Drinkwater, Herbie as well. So well done, William. Have a quick look at the leagues. So in the overall, Yeah. Oh, so Sam's moved up to 43rd overall. Well done, Sam. Keep going, legend. The Eliminator, Liam's team slipping a little bit with the 1200 this week. Minimum effort halving the rank up into 450. Shoab super consistent, 495. Great stuff there, guys. A few touching some pretty high numbers this season. Reserve grade not too far off either, thanks to a 1379. Timmy White or Wong sliding a bit, but still in the top 1k, so well done, Tim. I guess in terms of other players that went good this week, so yeah, clear and away number one, Dylan Edwards. Connolly Lemuelu with a 120. Well done to the 0.4% of teams that have him. Casey McLean with a nice game, a 109. Drell also with a 109. Xavier Coates, pretty much, carrying Melbourne on his back there a bit with 3 tries, 103. Seb Chris and Jed Stewart, a 103, so a bit flat that I've traded out Jed Stewart after seeing that. But it was always going to be the case of he had that game in him. That's why we take those cheap centre wingers. Hosking, Foggy, so that was a good win by the Raiders, and particularly for Supercoach. Ethan Strange as well. So well done if you've loaded up on the milk. They've absolutely carved up this week. Garner scored well. Dane Gagai playing fullback, getting a 93. Super pod at 3.2%. Katoa, Wilton, Taylor May, so first game scoring a 90. So definitely one on the radar if you're looking for a cheaper sort of final centre wing backup option potentially. Let's have a look at some break evens. So probably cheapie of the week this week, Jethro Rinakama, the Fijian winger at the Dogs. 75 to go with, what would that be, 53 in the first. So has scored a try in both games, but he does have the work rate, loves to run the ball. Maybe he hasn't quite got the tackle breaks down yet, but he's 19 years old. Definitely one we would like to have not played so much this year to get a good run at him next year. Jed Stewart's reset his break even, so if you've got him, he is a massive hold. Charlie Guymer's gone pretty well of late, so made 150k, so probably done most of his money making, but negative 23 break even, you could squeeze a bit out. Drell Skelton, he's going to make a bit of cash there, so well done if you've got him. Dylan Edwards, so negative break even for a couple of weeks, you'd imagine, with that 173 in the system. Tanner Boyd, if you've been looking at him, is on the bubble this week, so 329k, negative break even, probably not the worst option. Owen Paddy scored well this week, but I think everyone at the Raiders did, so I wouldn't overhype that. And that's probably about it. We're starting to get into positive territory at that point, so no need. But in terms of the plan for this week, got the cash in the bank, so it's probably going to be doing those final upgrades that we were looking at. So Hugo Savala has done his job for us. I'll just push Donahue down, and we'll bring in Harry Grant. So at 554k, it'd be interesting to see actually if we can afford Brayley. Just push him back. At 700k, it's probably pushing it a bit, but we'll see. So LKT out, Cleary in, and it's not going to happen. So I think we just stick to the plan. Nothing too crazy there, I think Grant, it's that time of year where he can go big. Defences are getting more collectively tired. He sniffs around the ruck, that sort of thing. Gets tries, as we saw in Origin. So, I wouldn't read too much into that 3-round average. Just we'll load him in. So, And Cleary is obviously a no-brainer. I think he's just listed as rested, so he should be right for this week. So it does leave us with 4 trades, a little bit of money in the bank, but this is pretty much the completed team. I guess one potential issue might be Kalamatangi and Tino out injured. But at the moment, I think we're fairly well covered. So just pump up Haas there. So Harry Grant comes on the bench. Herbie's on bye this week, so we have to make way there. But Nathan Cleary comes in, so pretty handy adjustment there. Maybe let's have just a quick look at some matchups. So the Broncos against the Eels at Suncorp. So Karapani might go alright. Newcastle at Canberra. Yeah, I don't think we were going to play Fletcher Hunt anyway, so that's okay. But yeah, so Climatungi's injured. Pasifiki Tonga no. Donohue's on bye. Tino's injured. Kane Bradley's probably done. So yeah, that's the only decision we need to make. So fairly simple. Captain, vice captain. So Storm and Roosters. So we could look at Jerome Hughes, Connor Watson, or even Harry Grant as the VC. Cowboys against the Dragons up there. So maybe Drinkwater potentially. I guess Tedesco as well. I forgot about. I reckon I'm going to look at Drinkwater, I reckon. And then Saturday afternoon at Combank, I reckon a fresh Nathan Cleary is maybe a go. So it'll be something like that, I can imagine. Just having a bit of a look. So, well, with these guys playing first, what I might do is switch Donohue. So that way we can put Grant on field, we can put Watson on field, and Preston plays in the last game on Sunday Arvo, so he can sit on the bench. If we're captaining Cleary, well then Hughes has to go on the bench despite playing in the first game. The Raiders play a bit later, so we'll switch that. I don't think we've really got many options anyway if Weeks or Preston don't play, so probably doesn't matter so much about that, but just make it look nice and pretty. And Edwards is back on the bench. So that's probably the team going into this week. As always, if you've got any questions, comments, thoughts, feel free to add them below this video. Give us a like if you enjoy the Supercoach content. Subscribe for all the fantasy sports content on the channel. And other than that, we'll catch you in the next one.